From the Figure 4 Online Studios in beautiful Bothell, Washington, exclusively at WrestlingObserver.com, you're listening to The Bryan and Vinny Show with your hosts, Bryan Alvarez and Big Vinny V.
All right, everybody, it's the Bryan and Vinny Show here. It is November 3rd, 2019, figure4online.com/wrestlingobserver.com. Vinny and I are here, and we are joined in studio today, also at video.f4wonline.com, by R.D. Reynolds. Wrestle Crap, Death of WCW, I don't even know what else. But he is here, live and in living color, beautiful Bothell, Washington. How are you doing, R.D.?
I am very blessed. I love it. I always hear beautiful Bothell, Washington. I didn't realize just how beautiful it was until I came here.
And you actually came on a beautiful day.
There was actually, I was driving up here and I noticed you can't always see Mount Rainier from Bothell, but you could today. Very
yes.
Yes.
Yes. And we also have another special guest who I'm going to introduce after Granny comes on. But Granny is joining us here today. What's going on, Granny?
I'm tired.
How was your birthday?
It was great. Loved every minute of it. And guess who I got a message from?
Who'd you get a message from?
Brent.
Brent Kremen? Mm-hmm. What did he say?
Oh, back and forth, asked me all kinds of questions. And he said I didn't come because Vinny wouldn't want me to.
Oh, good. Wow. What a guilt trip.
That's what he said.
You finally won, Vinny.
I'm glad
after all these years.
Thank God that
you didn't know it was that easy.
Thank God the 20 minutes I was there to not overlap with any time he might have been
there. Yeah, you should have told him Vinny was there for 20 minutes out of 4 hours.
I didn't, but he messaged back and forth quite a bit. Said to tell everybody hi.
Hi, Brent.
Hello, Brent.
What's up, Brent?
Well, also here, Granny, John Pincus is here. I'd like to say hello, John.
Hi, John.
Yeah,
Glad you made it.
Yeah, you saw him here today, Granny. And the most important thing about John Pincus being here today is he can't win the contest, I don't think.
That's true.
Because he's here. How many times have you won, John? Like 3 times?
I think 3 times.
3 times, yep. John came all the way from Chicago.
This is amazing.
Yes.
Let's not gloss over this.
Yeah.
John came from Chicago, Illinois.
Yes, he did.
Artie came from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yes, he did.
With his dope, old-school throwback Colts hat on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just to spend the day with Gladys.
Can you believe it?
Her 90th birthday.
It is hard to believe. Well, Granny, did you have fun? What were your favorite parts about today, besides seeing everybody?
Oh, they were all fun.
Excellent recap.
Every
For the
bit
people
of
that
us.
weren't there, Granny, what happened?
What people?
Listeners.
The listeners who weren't there, Granny, what happened? Can you give everyone like a recap so people know what they missed?
Oh, we had lots of food. And,
Yes.
True.
Cameras were flashing all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah, and I kind of have a story to tell about the king cake.
Rodney Rogers could not make it all the way from New Orleans to Bothell, but Rodney Rogers shipped a king cake
Yeah.
from New Orleans to Bothell for Granny's birthday. So tell us, Granny, what happened with the king cake?
Well, first I want to tell you what happened. I'm sitting here on my computer, and I get a message from Rodney, and he said, would you go open your back door? And he said, you might have a package, and sure enough, and I wouldn't have opened that door again till the next morning. So that's what's nice about being able to message.
What do you mean your back door? The one by the deck?
No, the other one.
That's your front door.
That's my back door, really.
But it's your front door.
My front door. Yeah. Well, yeah.
So there was a cake there.
Yeah, there was a cake there.
Wow.
But what happened to the cake? Maybe I shouldn't tell. But
Well, it's too late. You've already opened your mouth. What happened to the cake?
Well,
It got here. It was there. It looked fine. We cut it. We ate it.
well, just a minute. My niece came up from Portland, and she was sitting right next to me. So I said to Nikki, and then my brother and my sister-in-law. So I said, Nikki, would you get 4 of the cakes and pass them down? So she went and cut the cake and cut it into the found the baby. So she decided to give it to my niece Sandy, But then when she set it down, Sandy passed it on down. And so by the time they got through passing back and forth, nobody knew, and the baby never showed up. So
Well, this is what happens when you deliver a king cake to rubes, including myself.
So whoever got
Awful.
the baby was supposed to give it to you for a special prize.
Yeah.
But they started handing it around, and the baby vanished?
Well, I think what happened was they didn't eat the whole cake. And then it got thrown in the garbage.
I see.
Thank you anyway, Rodney.
So you threw the baby out with the bathwater.
I guess so.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so that's what happened with the cake.
Thank you, Rodney.
Thanks, Rodney. The baby was thrown into the garbage. Well, what was the prize if we had found the baby?
Well, I make little birdhouses, so I was going to give it.
Are you going to give away that birdhouse? Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we can pretend Paisley. Yeah, we can pretend Paisley won because she wanted that birdhouse. That's all she was talking about.
Oh, I wish I'd have known. I would have gave it to her before we left.
Well, once everyone's really healthy, we'll go over there and we'll get her that birdhouse.
Oh, I wanted to ask you, how's the baby?
She's fine. She's just sick.
Good.
Yes. All right. What else is going on? What do we got for Facebook, Vinny?
Just questions today.
I was hoping it would be the Granny Bingo game.
That was
That
so
was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
She says still doing the show after birthday party. So questions again.
Oh, wow. We can all answer the questions.
I guess we can.
There's 42 of them.
Let's see how many we get through.
Yeah, we'll see.
Toby Travalos asks, first of all, happy birthday, Granny. Then wants to know, do you like Mitsubishi cars?
Mitsubishi?
Yeah. Did I say that wrong? Mitsubishi?
Yeah.
I don't know too much about them. I suppose they're nice. I've never ridden in one.
We're all just nodding at each other here.
I don't know what else
Yep.
I expected her to say.
Yep, Mitsubishi.
Anybody else got a comment on
I
it?
really don't, actually. I don't know if I've ever been in one.
they're cars.
Craig J. Smart says, hi, Granny. Would you rather a one-day, all-expenses-paid day trip to Mexico with The Undertaker or a week-long trip with Bryan?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I don't know about that.
How long
Brian.
did she get to go with The Undertaker?
One day with The Undertaker or a week with you, I guess, also to Mexico.
Oh,
And this
come
is
on.
all expenses paid, he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Go with The Undertaker, Randy.
Yeah, I think
I think
so.
we can all agree on that one.
Yeah. Undertaker.
Yeah. Tell us about your Undertaker hat.
Yeah, that was so much fun. Everybody made me wear it, and it was fun.
Was it you, John, that got her the hat? Yeah, John Pincus got you an Undertaker hat. And matching gloves, is that true? Purple gloves?
Yeah, I didn't put the gloves on, though.
Oh, man. Actually, the hat looks... We all agree the hat looked really good on you. Like, you should just wear that hat everywhere.
I looked like the Queen of England.
Queen Undertaker.
You're almost her age.
You wear hats.
I really
Close.
did.
You
I
did.
thought I
You kind of
looked like
did,
her.
Granny. You were the
Yeah.
queen of the party, so... It's a
And
nice
then
hat.
Wayne took my little tiara.
He
or
was wearing
whatever.
your tiara, yeah.
Yeah. We didn't notice it said 90 on it till we got over here to the house.
Well, it
My
definitely said
sister-in-law.
90.
Well,
Yeah.
hope you enjoyed it because you can't wear it next year now.
I put a 1 on it.
Oh, solved that problem. Hayden Phallic says, since the party was at McMenamin's, when is the last time you set foot in a swimming pool? I hope you had a great time at your party and wish I could have come.
Well, I have never. Well, I've been in water before, but I always wore a safety vest because I never learned how to swim.
Oh.
And I don't like water.
See?
You don't.
You'd have to.
It's running in the family all the way down to Paisley.
Yeah, I remember when Brian was little, he'd go in the water and he'd come out and he just didn't want any water on his face.
This is exactly what Paisley does.
Really?
It's uncanny. Yeah, I take her to swimming lessons, and they want her to put her face underwater. She does not want to get her face wet. They try to make her blow the little bubbles. It's like pulling teeth. Does not want to get her face wet.
Huh, that's cute.
I'll get Bridget in there and solve that problem. I've seen her do it many times.
Oh, yeah, it worked wonders last time.
Takes a while.
Paisley was not happy.
Dennis Spawn says, Dear Granny, hope you had a wonderful party. Not so much a question, but a promise. My wife and I will come over all the way from Germany for your 100th birthday.
I'll keep thinking about
Germany?
that.
From Germany, he can bring you actual like polka music, like an actual barrel from Germany.
Wow.
Steve Barry. Happy birthday, Granny. Hope the party was sublime.
I'd say it was sublime.
All of that, and then some.
If you had to choose one to, if you had to choose one to go without, what would you choose? Your hearing, your sight, or your taste?
Oh, my taste.
That's honestly, yeah.
Well, my
I
taste
probably
is
eat
almost,
more things.
my taste is almost gone anyway. But
That happens when you're old?
kind of, yeah,
Really? I never knew that. Your taste goes away?
kind of. It's things just don't taste as good as they used to.
Hey, Granny,
Wow.
if I may, even though your taste buds are apparently deteriorating, what was your favorite thing to eat at the party today?
Your cheesecake.
Boom.
And I came
Already
home.
knows exactly the questions to ask.
I came home with only 3 pieces, and my brother ate one. My sister-in-law ate the other, so I only have one left to eat after the show.
See, if Paisley would have eaten her own cheesecake, Granny wouldn't have had it. She had a meltdown today because she wanted her own piece of cheesecake. I'd taken one tiny bite out of it.
Ah,
Yeah, she was hungry, yeah.
I thought you didn't even like cheesecake.
It was chocolate cheesecake. I had like one little bite of it, and then she was like, I have to have my own.
Got it.
And we had a feud.
A program between
We did.
Paisley and her
And
dad.
at the end of the day, I won.
That's
And
good.
She ate some of my cheesecake.
I'm happy to hear that.
And then Granny had her cake, so it all worked out.
Did anybody want to know how many Wendy's I got?
Actually, I do want to know.
I got 3 Wendy's and 3 others, and then I got some money.
Gift cards.
Oh, the gift cards.
Yeah.
What were the others?
There was a Subway. And,
Subway?
Yeah, my niece.
I hope the person who gave her that one's not listening.
That was my niece, Debbie.
Okay. She knows nothing about you, clearly.
Definitely
then-
not listening.
Yeah.
Brent, I don't know his last name.
The other one.
C-word, yeah.
Yeah.
Good, Brent.
His was Wendy's. And, oh, whoa. I got RD down here for Wendy's, and he gave me the cheesecake.
Oh, no.
I must have got something mixed up.
Well, I got you QFC because, in fact, I
Yeah.
went to QFC and there were no Wendy's cards. 'Cause apparently everyone else went to QFC that day.
So I was hoping that John and RD could stay tomorrow so I could take him to Wendy's for lunch.
I would love to go to Wendy's with you. I will actually be in town.
He will be in town, Granny. You can go with RD.
Oh, wow. That's my real birthday.
Yeah.
tomorrow.
John Pincus is getting out of here, though.
Yeah.
You had your chance today, Granny, but you were busy.
Today, that was
Or
it.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Things
I
didn't-
heard about it.
Well, things didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted.
So you should have gone with him to Wendy's.
Well, he said he was going to go do the scouts, or, the whale thing.
Whale Scout, yes.
Yeah, so I figured I'd let him do that and not have to mess with me.
Well, it was over by 1.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well,
And
too bad. You'll have to
I
wait
had
till
a-
you're 100.
I had a beauty appointment anyway, and I made a
That
fuss.
is true.
I made a big fuss there.
Oh, did
I need to hear this story. Shut
Well-
down the Facebook. What happened to your beauty appointment that caused you to have a fuss?
I wanted her to style my hair. Well, and I've got the perm, so she combed it out straight over to one side in a big lump and put a part in the side of it.
Oh,
And I kept saying, I don't like that. And she kept just kept doing dumb stuff. So finally I said, this is it. Put my hair back to the way it was when I came in, and I'm not paying for the style.
wow.
That's exactly. But she still charged me $21 for the haircut because she
Wow.
trimmed.
Sure
it
you want to
before.
go to Wendy's with her now, Artie?
I think that we may go to the beauty salon.
That's
Have
true.
have a
You should
talk.
take RD to the beauty salon.
Actually, that's the second beauty shop that I can't go back to.
But what happened in the other one?
She didn't cut my hair the way I liked it.
Maybe, Granny. Never mind.
Well, I feel like old people can be grouchy if they want to.
I can't imagine.
Wow. So she admits
That's good
it.
to hear.
It's a gimmick.
I've got that to look forward to then.
Yes.
All right.
Well, and any other time I would have sat there and let her mess my hair, and then I would have went outside and straightened it out myself. And when I was younger, I would do that, but now I don't take any crap anymore.
Wow.
Well, there's your new T-shirt.
Yeah.
I don't take any crap anymore, Granny.
Okay, you can go back to the questions.
Thank you, Granny. Oli Osation says...
Holy Osation?
That's what it says, man. I just read these. Granny, I hope you had a wonderful party. Now that you are 90, what do you think about Bryan being your personal chauffeur? Taking you to the senior center and the casino or wherever you want to go and having to wait outside in the car for you. If he says no, guilt trip him into it. Happy birthday.
I mean, if I just have to wait outside in the car, it's not that bad.
He'd be late all the time anyway, so I think I'd fire him.
So she didn't guilt trip you, she shamed you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andrew J. Markle wants to know how many gift cards to Wendy's you got. 3, Andrew. The answer is 3.
Yes.
Matt Loveridge, a top fan. Yo, Granny. Hope your birthday bash went well. So I asked the question, what is your most memorable moment of the past 90 years of your life?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
How could...
got to be today.
How could anybody remember all that? I'd have to say today because the past is past. You know?
Wow. That is profound.
You live for the moment when you're 90, Vinny.
I guess so.
The past is the past.
That's right.
The wisdom today, I've heard. Between this and the Ultimate Warrior.
They do have a lot in common, actually. You're on William Camacho. Happy birthday. What's a good fallback drink?
Water.
That's actually a good answer. Adam Craven wants to know what was your favorite present for your birthday party today? I believe we.
What?
What was your favorite present for your birthday party? The cheesecake, I guess.
I loved all of it, but Linda, Brian's mama-in-law, my gosh, she gave me a whole bunch of stuff that she canned herself. She does gardens and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I got about 6 jars of different things and some soap and a blanket. She just went all out, and it was just really so nice.
A blanket.
Yeah, a nice blanket.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Jamie Pizzacchetti asks, says, happy birthday, Granny.
There's some new names here.
Yes.
Recognize any of these people.
Out of the 3 of you, Bryan, Vinny, and Granny, who is the most talented dancer?
I'd have to say me, because when I was little, I used to tap dance.
Well, that'll work. Do it then.
I never tap danced.
I never tap danced.
Yeah. My mom played the harmonic, and I tap danced. Even in school plays sometimes.
Charles Davis says, happy birthday.
In school plays.
If you were in a secret Santa exchange with a wrestler, which wrestler would you want to be the one who drew your name?
There's only one answer to that.
The Undertaker.
You bet.
What gift would you want him to get you?
Hopefully not an urn.
Or a tombstone?
A casket.
Or, well, it would be a really nice casket if you did.
Let's end on that one.
Okay.
Appropriately. Granny, Wayne did some pretty good drawings of The Undertaker for you. They're up on my Twitter.
Oh, he did a good job.
Yeah, he did a caricature of Whitney and the babies, and I had to really explain what these were to Paisley. She didn't see it, but boy, you could sure tell that was the Undertaker.
Yeah.
That actually was a great Undertaker.
Yeah,
I
he
saw
did
that
3 of them.
I have him
3 of
over.
them.
I have him sitting over on my couch,
Wow.
pretending he's there.
I want to read one more question.
Okay.
Tim Page, a top fan, asks, what is the worst birthday present you received this year, and who gave it to you?
Wow.
Oh, that's a bad question because I didn't get any bad
She didn't
ones.
get any
a good
bad
answer.
ones, Vinny.
No
That
bad
question just made me laugh.
None.
Because I am a bad person.
All right, Granny, let's do the wrestling report. What'd you watch this week? Please say
Okay.
Crown Jewel.
I didn't watch that, but I watched SmackDown.
So you get SmackDown on Q13 now?
Yeah,
Okay, wow.
on Friday, and I was kind of unhappy that you didn't remind me, but I happened to. Anyway, what I like about that is because my TV, everybody looks fat. And so you can imagine there was one where the guy weighed 300 pounds. I forget which one it was. But anyway, Paul Heyman came out and he was bragging up on Lesnar. And then Lesnar...
Do you not have an HD TV?
Are you kidding? Still have the one you guys got me a while back.
I can't figure out why it's stretched out. I can't imagine there being a Q13 standard definition feed. Am I wrong?
I'm sure it still exists, but most cable boxes won't even let you turn to it if you have an HD TV.
I don't think she has an HD TV. How is this possible?
She may not.
Anyway.
Maybe the Zoom is set wrong.
I don't know
It
what
could
you're
be.
talking about.
Artie's coming over tomorrow. He's going to fix it for you.
We'll
Grant.
fix this aspect ratio for you.
Yeah, it's on 4:3 now. He'll put it on 16:9.
I'd like to have somebody fix my computer, too. It freezes up on me.
I don't think that's something that can be fixed, Granny.
I know. I'm going to get a new... Christmas, I'm going to get a new computer.
Oh, man.
Okay, anyway, SmackDown. Paul Heyman comes out and he brags about Lesnar. And then Velasquez comes... Kane.
Velasquez.
Him
Him and Lesnar have a match. And it's back and forth. And
This is Crown Jewel. But the clips were on SmackDown. Okay.
They show the whole match on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's body locks and all that stuff, and then Rey Mysterio comes in with a chair and beats up on Lesnar. So I don't really know who won that one.
Brock submitted him with a move.
So
Brock won.
Brock won it?
Yeah.
I missed that part of it. And then I had Bailey and Nikki Cross. And I like Nikki. She's great. 2 early kickouts. Punches on Bailey's jaw. Nikki on the stairs, head in Nikki's midsection. Keeps dropping Bailey on the mat. Top rope, both of them up on the top rope. And fall off as usual. What else is new in wrestling? And so knee to the chin of Bailey. Bailey takes... knocks her down and wins the match and takes the belts. And oh, wait a minute. Bailey won the match, so what's her name? Baszler. Baszler comes in and she beats up on Bailey and takes the belt and walks away with it.
Granny, how did you get more coherent on your 90th birthday?
I don't know, but my question is this, Granny. So they were on the top rope and they both fell off. And you said, what's new in wrestling, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, what else would they do once they're up there? What's the alternative?
One could fall and the other stay.
I see, okay.
One thing.
I got it.
You know,
Ask a stupid question. All right. Next.
Anyway, I gave that one a 5.
Move in. Set up house.
Did you hear me? I gave it a 5.
I heard you.
Thank you, Granny. Sorry.
I hadn't thought build something. I had not thought of that, Vinny. All right.
Okay, then there is, now this is kind of, you were talking the other day about, I thought it was 205, but then when they started wrestling, it said NXT, so I was confused. I didn't know, this was Bronson Reed and Thorne.
Bronson Reed was not on 205 Live.
This was this was NXT.
If they ever do a 405 Live, maybe he'll be on that one.
This was NXT.
Okay, and Thorne, he weighed 300 pounds.
No, Bronson Reed weighed 300 pounds.
Huh?
Bronson was the big guy.
Oh, I think I did get those mixed up. Yeah, because at the end, I had the wrong one winning. Oh, well. Body drops, stomach jumps.
Bobbity drops?
Bibbity bobbity drop.
Body drops.
Body drops, okay.
Stomach jumps. Chest chops, a bunch. Trying to stay up, kicking all over the body. Then over the shoulder, threw him over the shoulder. 2 count, 300 pound on the top rope, and both up. And guess what?
They both fell off.
Ow, yeah. So,
Actually, only one fell off. The other one jumped off.
oh, okay. Reed won that one, and I gave that a 6.
She's on our page.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my last one. Cole plus Bryan.
Oh, very good match.
Say that again.
Cole plus Bryan.
Plus Bryan. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Equals.
know. Was that NXT
This
or
was
what?
SmackDown.
What?
How are you?
Oh, still.
Yeah. Well, no, you went from SmackDown
To
to NXT to SmackDown.
It's like she's changing channels
Yeah.
somehow.
Okay. Jumps and kicks, arm twists, leg twists. And Triple H was outside watching.
Triple H.
Triple H.
Oh, excuse me.
Back arm hold.
Medication.
Knee in the face by Bryan. Mouth chop. Uppercuts. Both fall out of the ring. A commercial right in the middle of the match.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, they did that. I mean,
Twice.
right in the
I'm
middle.
well aware, Granny.
Yeah.
You clearly are watching a lot of stuff on the network. When we watch this stuff on TV, there's always a commercial right in the middle of the match.
And you know that most commercials are 5 minutes long.
I'm well aware.
Yeah. So anyway, last thing is knee in the face, and Adam.
People
Cole
think we
won.
complain just for the hell of it.
No.
Here's Granny pointing out how irritating it is. There's a commercial right in the middle of the match for 5 minutes.
That's why I was gonna talk about the commercials instead of wrestling.
You may as well.
Except then they keep saying, "Ask your doctor. Ask your doctor." Okay.
This is what wrestling is like in the year 2019.
Yes.
That was an excellent report.
Yeah, what happened in the end? You stopped at the commercial.
No, I didn't. Wait a minute. What did I say?
She said there was a commercial right in the middle of the match.
Yeah, then we
And
talked
never
about the
got anything
commercials,
after
and
that.
then we didn't hear who won or what you scored it.
I just told you. Adam Cole won.
Okay?
Middle commercial came on middle of the match, and then there was a knee in the face, and that's what that's how he won.
Okay.
So I give that a pretty good 8.
Wow.
That was a pretty good match.
Okay.
Granny is a good judge of match quality.
He's in a roll, yeah.
I hate wrestling.
After that match, that's the one you decided that you hated wrestling,
All of them.
and you gave it an 8.
I know. Well, you have to, if it's halfway decent.
You have to be fair, even if you hate it.
Yeah, that's right.
I understand, Granny. I understand.
Yep.
That also runs in the family. All right.
I'll be honest. That caught me off guard.
All right. Anything else, Granny?
I got so much, they asked me if I wanted the cake, and I thought they meant the king cake. And when I get home with all my stuff, here is half of a birthday cake.
Oh, Lord.
Goodness.
What am I going to do with? I want to have a party tomorrow and have everybody come over and have birthday cake.
Well, some of us are around.
I think John should switch his flight.
Yeah, John, you need to switch your flight, dude. I'll put him on the spot.
Sorry, Granny, gotta go back to work.
He's got to get back, Granny.
That's too bad.
Well, bid him farewell,
She's
Granny.
laughing at you because she's retired.
Yeah. It's like, 90.
Yeah, John, it was sure nice of you to come. I really
It's nice
enjoyed
to see
it.
you, Granny. And
I'm sorry.
All of your
Sorry.
fans were very happy for your 90th birthday and
Yes.
to be there for your 100th.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's going to be there for the 100th.
I told her I'd be there for her 190th.
And his
Maybe.
his mom sent me a message saying how glad she was that he got to come. So,
He did. And yep, he flew out here and immediately did a Whale Scout helping out event for free, working for 4 straight hours.
and I'm going
We
to
appreciate that.
I'm going to send Lance a message for his happy birthday.
He already did. We recorded
I know.
and sent it
I
back
said
to him.
I'm going to thank him for it.
Oh.
I'm going to send him a message and thank him.
Okay, well, I filmed you saying thank you and sent it to him, so you
I
have...
want to do it over.
Okay, all right, I got it. Like to say goodbye to RD?
I thought he was going to be here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Sorry.
taking her to Wendy's, apparently.
There's your guilt trip.
yeah.
All right, well, he'll
Some
see
of
you-
us aren't leaving. Slacker.
Oh, wow.
My day doesn't start till noon, though.
Okay. I'll write that down.
Yeah. All right, anything else, Granny?
Nope, I'm done.
All right, well, we'll talk to you next week then.
Okay, thank everybody, and it was so much fun.
Well, have a good week, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope to see the baby pretty soon, though.
All right, when she gets better, we'll bring her over. We don't want to make you sick.
Okay,
All right.
bye.
Bye, Granny. Well, there you go, everybody. Never a dull moment with Granny.
This episode of Superstars we're about to review now feels so anticlimactic.
Of course it does. Granny is like Saturday night's main event. You do the main event, you get it out of the way first, and then everything just kind of trickles down.
I suppose so.
Kind of like this match here with this championship match.
The show, yeah.
Open the show, yeah.
So we watched WWF Superstars, November 14th, 1992. The opener, Davey Boy Smith defends his prestigious Intercontinental Championship against the Repo Man.
Yes. Now, last week, the Repo Man, when I found out that he was getting a championship match, I was aghast. And then he shows up on the screen. He's doing a promo. I'm like, there's nothing. I know you love the Repo Man, RD.
That's right.
There's nothing worse than a Repo Man promo. Nothing. This should be page 1, chapter 1 of WrestleCrap is Repo Man promos. But then, because the title's on the line, the Repo Man, he doesn't do the voice. He doesn't do the mannerisms. He cut a promo as a challenger for a championship. I was like, wow, great. Then the show starts, and he comes out, and he's giggling, and he's got his hamburger gimmick on, and he's doing this with his hands or whatever he does. And it was just a clown show. I was very disappointed.
You do realize who he's channeling, right?
No! I
he's
waited for the
trying to
show to
mimic.
ask you.
Okay.
Because you said you thought you knew.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's he supposed to be?
He is Frank Gorshin, the Riddler from the Batman 66.
Oh, my God.
It's the same guy
You watch
Cody
it.
was mimicking when he was Stardust.
Yeah, if you watch it...
Well, Cody, I figured, was a Riddler.
Yeah.
I didn't get that out of the Repo Man.
He does the exact same mannerisms and everything.
Wow.
I can't believe you didn't pick... I thought
No.
you were an expert.
Believe it or not, I used to watch the 60s Batman, but I never picked up on that.
Absolutely.
I
Go
just
back and
picked
watch.
up on him as a guy I hate to watch on television.
You know what I hated to watch on television tonight, watching this? Davey Boy Smith's tights.
Okay, were his tights cut up to show skin, or was there flesh tone on the tights?
I believe it was sheer fabric.
You believe it was sheer fabric?
So I think we're basically seeing Davey Boy's pelt.
Excuse
It
me.
was a British bulldog. Bulldog.
I thought we were seeing way too much of Davey Boy's buttocks.
Earlier tonight, you said anus.
Yeah, Vinny corrected me, so I was trying to listen to him.
That would be even more distressing.
Well,
But
there
in
were
ni-
holes everywhere.
In 1992,
We can agree on that.
when Davey Boy came out with what appeared to be a lot of below-the-waist skin exposed, they found a number of women who were embarrassed but also thrilled to see this. They enjoyed this show.
Morbidly aroused.
That's actually a very good word.
That is a very good,
Thank
two words, Vinny.
You're right. It's a very good expression, Artie.
Yes.
So here's like the whole match.
Can I at least just do the finish? Because there's nothing to the match.
That's kind of my point.
The match goes a minute, and then the finish is this. The Repo Man, first off, he got some heat with the fakest moves you've ever seen. This arm bar.
I think it was supposed to be a short arm scissors.
But yeah,
It
he
was
did it
not.
wrong. Yeah. So he does a couple of moves, and then he goes up to the middle rope. He jumps. Bulldog punches him. Bulldog hits one suplex for a near fall, at which point Vince says, "What a matchup!" And then he hits a power slam and pins him. That was the match.
That was pretty much the whole match.
This match was a 2, maybe.
I think you're underselling. Did you not see the drop toe hold spot? 'Cause
There was a point where
I know
Davey
John
Boy
saw it, and we both gasped.
Davey Boy did a drop toe hold, and Repo Man sold this, well, like the Riddler. He went all cartoon to sell this. He threw his hands up in the air, and his eyes bugged out through his mask, and he screamed, and then he was tripped, and he fell. I will also point out Davey Boy did press slam this big bastard.
He did. That was impressive.
He was a
I'll
very
give him
strong
that.
man. And I will say
Yeah, he press slammed him and then put him in a chin lock
that, yes,
in that exact sequence.
I was going to,
He didn't even cover him.
no, there was...
He press slammed him and then grabbed a hold.
This whole match, when this match ended, I asked, was there even a 2 count in this match? You pointed out there was one right before the finish when Davey Boy just did another move and won.
Yeah.
But it was a weird match.
So in the middle of the match, they're promoting that tonight. Actually, they didn't promote that. They just said it's Saturday night's main event. it will be Davey Boy Smith versus Shawn Michaels for the title if the Bulldog can beat the Repo Man.
Yeah.
So he wins, and then Mr. Perfect predicts that Shawn Michaels is going to win the title tonight. Yeah. Because he says, no man has ever successfully defended the IC title twice in one night. At which point I realized Saturday night's main event is tonight.
Yeah.
This show aired on Saturday.
The show aired Saturday morning.
So in their universe, they're wrestling somewhere during the day, live.
Yeah.
And now they're going to fly somewhere else tonight, and Bulldog's going to wrestle again.
And do another live TV show.
Yeah.
Fort Wayne, Indiana is where that
Oh,
was.
your stomping grounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of, yeah.
So well, before we move on, I do want to say we watched a lot of these superstar shows, and there's a lot of squash matches. But when you take two stars, like the British Bulldog and the Repo Man, this crowd went crazy for this match.
Yeah,
and it was
something big.
This was like seriously the ultimate definition of a nothing match.
Oh, yeah.
But they loved it. So they plug the Saturday night's main event card, which includes not only Shawn Michaels challenging Davey Boy Smith for the Intercontinental title, there's two other title matches. One, apparently you pointed out and I'd forgotten, but after all these months, going back to before SummerSlam, Papa Shango is finally going to pay off his feud with Bret Hart and get a championship match.
There were a whole bunch of feuds during the summer that did not pay off at SummerSlam, and I knew they didn't pay off at Survivor Series, and I knew they didn't pay off at the Royal Rumble, so I thought they were merely house show feuds. Turns out, they headlined Saturday night's main events.
And the other news here, I'm actually much, much, much more excited about, because for months, well, weeks now, I have been bemoaning the fact that the Ultimate Maniacs are an unbelievable team, and how sad I was that I never got to actually see them wrestle a match. But I had forgotten. They did wrestle a match.
Yes.
On Saturday night's main event, the Ultimate Maniacs Challenge Money Incorporated. And knowing what goes down at Survivor Series, I am way more excited for Saturday night's main event than I am for that show.
Well, there are only 3 episodes of Saturday night's main event left on the network. Superstars.
Yes.
So I think that in 2 weeks or whatever it is, whenever we're back on Superstars duty, we will watch Saturday night's main event.
November 14th, 1992.
Yes, that'll be next up.
All right. So after the opening championship match, we had this rundown for the rest of the card. The Head Shrinkers, Marty Jannetty, a special interview with the Natural Disasters.
They don't mention the Nasty Boys.
They did not mention the Nasty Boys here.
Man, disrespectful.
Nails, a special visit with The Undertaker, building the coffin for the Survivor Series in his workshop.
Yes.
Right. We had a picture of Shawn Michaels on the cover of WWF magazine. On the inside, a story of Bob Backlund. And then I think they've played this before, but it's the Bob Backlund essentially funeral video.
Well, this is the second time you've loudly noted there's a naked baby on television. So
Okay.
I presume we've seen this video before, but
Honestly, I was more impressed when he was doing the Persian clubs.
actually it might have been a different video because I don't remember the Persian clubs.
Yeah, see?
But anyway, so I need to know in 1992 if this looked as ancient as it looked today, okay? Because it looked ancient, but when you watch Superstars, this video on Superstars looks ancient. They're promoting the return of Bob Backlund. It's all this black and white and just ancient footage. They're trying to push that he's making his big return. And it's like, he seems like an old man.
I think they knew because you could kind of tell they said, how can we make this footage look contemporary? And to make it look contemporary in 1992, you throw random bright-colored triangles all over the screen.
Oh, wow.
So there's a green triangle and a pink triangle and a yellow triangle, randomly. The Head Shrinkers versus Jim Powers and Bobby St. Laurent.
I've mentioned this a million times, but I think you might have pointed out, RD. St. Laurent has Bobby on his ass, okay? So I always think about this because I was a wrestler. And at one point, I had to order boots, tights, the whole 9 yards. And back in the day, there were like only a few places to do this. This was before high spots. There was like stagecoach wrestling boots.
Sure.
And you had to trace your foot.
Yep.
And all this other craziness. So this guy contacted somebody and he said, I want baby blue long tights, and on the ass I want Bobby, but make sure it's small and cursive. Like, that was his request for his gear.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
This was his goal. I need this to go on television and wear. So as we all noted, there's a lot of physical similarities between Bobby St. Laurent and Jim Powers. I believe Bobby was the before picture and Jim was the after. Doink comes out in this match. I believe he had the mallet that Bray Wyatt used in the Hell in the Cell match. Vince referred to the Headshrinkers as Fatu and Samo. They go up for their top rope splash, and Doink is begging them to show mercy. He's a kind, benevolent, evil clown now. But they do not show mercy. Fatu hits the big splash, and he pins St. Laurent.
Yeah. Whoop-de-doo.
I think that whenever you were looking at Jim Powers, it was interesting because Jim Powers did not look like Jack 1988 Jim Powers. He looked like he was starting to melt, and it gets much worse.
Dude, 92.
It gets much worse. 93 Raws. He looks like he has just melted into nothing.
Well, a lot of guys melted into nothing.
And then, but don't worry, he'll become WCW Jim Powers in a few years, and it'll look just as big as 1988 Jim Powers.
He must have got off the Ico Pro.
Found his smile. And got back to
It was doing damage to his physique.
Yes.
This integrated conditioning program. Too much cardio.
We go to the event center with Gene Okerlund, who talks about the Headshrinkers and tries to envision what it would be like if they tried to pick up his daughter for a date. He plugs the Saturday Night's Main Event show for seriously like 2 seconds, and then moves on to Survivor Series. An all-family event, he says. And then they replay the Rick Martel promo where he calls Tatanka Buffalo Breath, calls him an Indian giver, all that stuff. And the Boss Man cuts a promo on Nails. I got nothing else to say about the Boss Man's promo.
Yeah, not too much. Well, they did, I'm trying to think if it was here or somewhere else. There was one of these where Gene, must be later, Gene had some line. It was funny. About how horrifying the stipulation for the Nails match was. Oh, here's what it was. Boss Man's promo. Okay. Mm-hmm. Boss Man says, for every lick that you gave me, for every lick that you gave anyone on the street anywhere in the U.S., I'm going to use this nightstick and make sure that you serve hard time. I'm thinking, what was Nails locked up for? He's like going around the country licking people? That's the crime?
That is a crime.
I mean,
you can't do that.
Well, you can apparently because the Headshrinkers did it in the earlier match.
That's actually a good point.
They bit a man's face and licked him.
Hey, look at me. They did.
And then Vince and Perfect are talking about how they might eat them.
There's a lot of
that on this show.
Eating on the show.
There were
yes.
multiple references to eating your opponent on this show.
And then Perfect was like, no, he's just gnawing on him.
Yeah, that's okay. It's not nice to lick a guy, but if you gnaw on him, that's okay.
Acceptable.
Yeah.
We cut to Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh, Gene guaranteed the Survivor Series would be the greatest. He's covered every Survivor Series. This one will be the greatest.
Bam Bam Bigelow screams at us for a minute.
He screams his name repeatedly and then the word fire.
I wrote down every word. The flames inside Bam Bam Bigelow will soon consume everyone in the WWF. Bam Bam, Bam Bam, Bam Bam Bigelow, burn.
Yeah, burn, not fire. He's Seth Rollins.
And as they describe, they all pretend like he's never been in the World Wrestling Federation before.
Yeah.
And Vince describes him as a brutal type wrestler.
It's weird enough that, like, Crush is treated as a new guy, even though his previous incarnation, his name was Crush.
Yes.
But at least he's got a different gimmick.
He got new gear and lost the face paint.
Bam Bam Bigelow is exactly the same Bam Bam Bigelow, but now he's never been there.
I mean, Bob Backlund's coming back from way longer than
That's true.
Bam was, and they're talking about his legacy, but Everyone just forget Bam Bam Bigelow existed. He's new.
Well, he went somewhere else because he went to WCW.
I suppose that's true.
He must be written out of history.
That's so weird. You're right, but it's weird. Iron Mike Sharp versus Marty Jannetty.
Iron Mike Sharp, the greatest jobber ever.
We have been watching like an entire year of these shows now. Where has Iron Mike Sharp
He's been on.
Has he?
Yeah.
He hasn't been this great before.
No, he was better than you.
This is peak Iron Mike Sharp.
I love it that he always like grunts, like there's some dialect of a language no one speaks.
Yes.
It's Iron Mike Sharpian.
He just growls the whole time.
Constantly.
He's constantly growling.
When he's happy, he growls. When he's afraid, he growls. When he's in pain, he growls. And then he truly lurches around like Frankenstein.
Yes.
And eventually, Marty Jannetty, who was dressed like a pack of Fruit Stripe bubblegum, hit a big, giant fist drop.
Yep.
Which Perfect called Vintage Marty Jannetty.
Oh, God.
And he pinned him.
Vince goes, he didn't have to hook the leg.
Did Mike Sharp ever do any shoot interviews? And if he did he just grunt the entire time?
I was going to say, I don't want him to do a shoot interview.
I feel like he did.
I wanted to do an in-character interview.
Right, exactly.
When Hornswoggle first got on Twitter, I was so disappointed it was not in character. I just wanted to be, just type
You know, when I was a kid, I've told this story before. I don't know if it was in a WWE magazine or where I read it, but the scoop was that Iron Mike Sharp sang opera.
Really?
Yeah. Which I presume is true.
He's loud.
I mean, they lie
He's
about
got the
everything.
lungs.
I don't know why I presume it's true, but yeah.
And Jannetty did an inset promo about how there's three kinds of people in this world. Those who start with everything and don't work. Those who start with nothing and do nothing to improve it. And those who start from nothing and claw their way up. He's not a rich kid. He's not a quitter. And he's going to scratch his way to the top and beat Shawn Michaels. Update with Lord Alfred Hayes. First, he plugs the latest selection of WWF Coliseum home videos, available right now on VHS for $9.95.
Yeah, it's
They
cheap.
surely make super gifts.
Surely.
Bret Hart is...
Which was interesting, by the way, because Hulk Hogan, like they have this big display, and Hogan's all over it. Hogan is not in WWE at the time.
No,
but he's...
Wouldn't be for a long... Well, no.
No, he's coming back.
Spring, yeah.
back.
Never mind. Yeah, my. So, Bret Hart, as a fighting champion, the busiest defender of this coveted belt. Last week, this fighting champion took on the ferocious Berserker. Let us go to the highlights of this match.
Okay, listen. Everybody makes mistakes, okay? We make many on this show. But I'm watching this match, and Gorilla Monsoon sees Bret do the side Russian leg sweep. He calls it a neck breaker. I'm like, he did the exact same comeback in every match for 4 years. How do you not know that that's a side Russian leg sweep?
So, yes, we literally tuned in to see Bret Hart hit the 5 moves of doom and win.
Yes.
And tonight, Lord Al says, Bret Hart will take on the massive
After
master...
that superb victory.
After that superb victory, he will take on the massive master of voodoo, Papa Shango. And then next week, here on Superstars, he will defend the title again against... I'm not making this up.
Oh, no, you're not.
The adventurous but persistent Virgil.
Adventurous but persistent.
Not adventurous and persistent. Adventurous but persistent.
Huh.
I don't even know.
I
Now-
love that there's 2 matches now where they're looking past a championship match to promote another championship match.
Yeah?
That's kind of weird.
I like that Brett gave a promo and he
Yes.
said that he had taken over Flair's commitments.
Yes.
Yes?
So I'm kind of sad that we never got Flair versus Berserker, Flair versus Papa Shango.
Oh,
I'm telling you.
you know what, though? They all would have been better than Flair versus the Warrior.
I think Flair and Berserker could have been a lot of fun, actually.
It might have been all right.
Flair versus Virgil as well.
Well, sure,
I bet-
just
I bet
chop the
they
hell out
have
of it for
that.
5
I'll
minutes.
bet you anything Flair could have a better match with Virgil than the Ultimate Warrior. I would bet you anything.
So speaking
He
of...
may have had it on Nitro, on one of those Thunders. We need to go back and find out.
And
Flair
watch
and
all
Vir-
the Thunders.
Flair and Virgil?
Yeah.
Decent chance. So, Brett does a very generic promo. Already talked about it. He took on all of Flair's commitments. When Virgil steps in the ring with him, he'll step in with the excellence of execution. And Virgil just says, Hitman, I got a lot of respect for you, but I want that belt as bad as you want to keep it.
Hey, it was fine. Short
It was.
and
They were
sweet.
fine. They were totally fine.
And then on the screen it says, and I quote, "Up next, Nails."
So,
If only we got quarter hours.
so, Brian, your daughter's been into Dr. Seuss a lot lately. And so,
Yes.
as this match was going on, we collectively wrote a Dr. Seuss poem about this match, which I have transcribed. I choke you here. I choke you there. I like to choke you everywhere. I don't sing songs. I don't tell jokes. 'Cause all I like to do is choke.
Chokes and choke. Yeah. Chokes! With an S.
Shut up. So he did do a leapfrog in this match, which blew my mind. And then he followed it with a wretched clothesline.
At which point Vince McMahon says, "Unfortunately, this was not much of a match here."
Yes. They're doing a contest, I guess for Survivor Series, but you call in and leave your number.
I was going to talk about this later, okay? You call the WWF hotline, which I don't know how much it cost in 1992, but it's probably like $1.99 a minute. You call, they probably explain the rules for 10 minutes. You leave your name and your phone number, and maybe during Survivor Series, one of the WWF superstars will call you, okay? That's the contest.
Sure.
All right. Every time that Vince promoted this stupid contest, he said, "Can you imagine if such and such a heel, unlikable person called you?" How is that going to compel you to enter this contest?
Well,
Can you imagine if Nails was on the other side of the line, snarling and snorting? I'm like, what? How about maybe Bret Hart's going to call you? Maybe Earthquake and Typhoon might call you. No, he chose Nails, and later he chose Kamala, as we'll get to.
He did. So Nails won with his chin lock, and he immediately cut to Doink celebrating in the crowd.
It was also at the end, he gently pushed his opponent out of the ring.
He pushed him with the nightstick. He didn't hit him, he pushed him.
Yeah, very gently.
Yes, he sucked. He was worse than the Repo Man.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I've changed my mind. Nails was worse than the Repo Man.
I told you I'd get him to change his mind.
Miles.
But part of it, RD, is I never had to hear Nails do long promos every week. Like, for some reason, Repo Man would do those stupid promos every week on this show. Nails would rarely do it.
There will come a day, if you guys keep reviewing these shows, and you'll get to, like, you guys have never done, like, the early Raws, right?
Not
No, actually, we haven't.
maybe one or two here or
We
there.
started
but
in
not-
95.
Not regular, yeah.
You need to find the one where he repossesses Randy Savage's cowboy hat.
God.
Yes, everyone, this is how the longest running episodic weekly show started. A man in a Riddler mask stole another man's cowboy hat.
Hey, the longest running episodic whatever opened with a Damien Demento main event.
He got me there. Some Disco Inferno looking guy, Joe something, interviews the Natural Disasters and the Nasty Boys. So Earthquake says he is going to reveal their strategy for their match against Money Incorporated and the Beverly Brothers for Survivor Series. Here is his strategy. You guys won't survive the Survivor Series, and Beverly Brother Blake, you'll find yourself in the middle of an earthquake. That's a strategy.
Yes.
They all, boy, was this a 1990s, but a 1980s pro wrestling promo where they all scream and cackle and laugh at each other. Their strategy is actually, they did eventually get around to this. They're going to eliminate the Beverly Brothers to make it 4-on-2, and then all four of these men hate Jimmy Hart. Because they did the exact same angle with both teams, where Jimmy Hart was managing two teams and preferred one, and the other team got screwed. It happened to both of them.
Joe Blevins.
Excellent, Brian.
Thank you.
Fine research.
Has Brian Knobs ever just spoken, or does he scream every single word he's ever said?
I'm convinced I've seen him in 100 pro wrestling shows. I've seen him on Hogan Knows Best. I've seen him.
He's always like that.
At Tampa Bay Devil Rays baseball games. He's always like this. He's never not Brian Knobbs.
I really appreciated when you did the audiobook of Death of WCW. But if we ever do another one, I really want Brian Knobbs to do it.
Oh, yeah. Good luck
Just
with that.
scream the entire book.
I mean, I could do that.
So
They
Brian
threatened to
Knobbs
eat Jimmy Hart.
does a long. He does actually.
Another.
Brian Knobbs does a long promo, loses his train of thought, stops, collects himself, restarts.
Vince calls him out.
He does.
Called him out on commentary.
Say something. They're gonna enjoy some turkey, and that turkey is you, and Jimmy Hart, you're the dessert. And they're all happy, and they all high five.
Yes. So Gene does a Survivor Series report, and he says, Survivor Series, 1 week away. It's the following Wednesday.
It's 10 days.
Yeah, 10 days away.
I can't believe how the main event is heating up, he says.
Yes, he says,
Just wait, Gene.
he says, make your travel plans now.
Yeah. Fly to wherever the hell this was.
Richfield Coliseum.
Well, the key to this RD is it never said where it was.
That would be helpful advice.
I was looking on the screen and it just said Survivor Series date. And he says, make your travel plans. I was like, to where? Let's say I want to go. Let's say I really want to see these Macho Warriors or whatever their stupid name is.
Ultimate Mania.
Where can I go? Well, I don't know.
So we get a Ric Flair, Razor Ramon, Mr. Perfect promo where they talk about the ultimate losers. Razor says, I believe he said, you got to face the Jefe El Lacayas.
Look at me.
Flair does a
Do I look Hispanic?
a low key Flair promo about you got to show us what you're made of. We're saying it's all ours. It doesn't matter.
Really doesn't.
There have never, I know I say this every single time, there's never been a more fitting name than the Ultimate Maniacs, and the Ultimate Maniacs had never been more ultimate or more maniacal than they were here. I've heard a lot of rumors about the abuse of narcotics in pro wrestling. I don't know
They were both wearing sunglasses.
that anyone on the show has ever abused them. But if they did, I believe it would have come out much like this. So
It was only one of them.
it really is, I don't even know what Savage said. I could not get past
Savage
what
was like
were.
totally normal, as
By
normal
his-
as Randy
yeah.
Savage can be. Warrior was out of his mind.
So Warrior begins by plugging their merchandise, Savage's jacket, his sunglasses. He talks about
Artie warned us about this.
he tried. To his credit, he
Be
tried.
ready to rewind, he said.
Yeah.
And he was right.
He said he talked about the bondage. I'm going to say it again. The bondage of the Ultimate Maniacs. And then think of every Ultimate Warrior promo you ever saw. He's shaking. He's screaming. He's snarling. He's snorting. He's spitting. Ultimate Warrior then gets like sad, like despondent. Ultimate Warrior.
Before he gets sad.
Woe be gone.
Before
Ultimate
he
Warrior.
gets sad, his exact line was, it's the bondage of the Ultimate Maniacs. No sleep, no food, no nothing, just maniacism.
See, that is what he said, Brian. But he said this all with sadness in his voice.
Oh, that was a sadness. I thought that was when he turned into Paul
Maybe because he
Bearer.
had no sleep and no food. But he says, no sleep, no food,
That's right, he did.
no nothing, just maniacism.
Maniacism, I'm sorry. It was maniac.
And then something about being a skeleton and how they can't be buried.
Boy, was he wrong, by the way.
I legit thought he
As
was
it
having
turned
a
out.
stroke before our very eyes.
So I just stared at the screen, jaw agape. Randy Savage spoke. I don't know what he said. I don't know how long he said. Like, time froze. I cannot move after this Ultimate Warrior promo. So they talked about the nightstick match. They talked about the 8-man tag. They talked about Brett versus Shawn. I can't tell you what they said because I was still frozen. I could not. I needed a break here to process what I had seen. And frankly, I'm still not sure I've done it. I think I need to revisit this. No sleep. No food.
Hey, listen. The more I think about it, Vinny, he said, what are they going to do? Bury us now? Maybe he knew what was coming.
He may have.
He might have been smarter than we gave him credit for being.
You said that with so much more life than this guy
That
did.
is true. I mean, he was clearly
He was on the down.
he was out of life this
Yeah.
moment.
Steve Gillespie versus Kamala.
Oh, we got more, Vinny. First, they plugged Bossman versus Nails.
See, okay, go ahead.
So that's when Gene says, the rules are absolutely barbaric. Whoever gets the nightstick can use it. That was it. Then we had the Money Inc. Beverly Brothers, HBK Bret Hart, plus so much more. Survivor Series. Now we had Kamala. This Steve Gillespie.
So Gillespie, the more I saw him, the less the more I realized he wasn't that bad. But when
He took terrible bumps.
he took terrible bumps, he had horrible gear, but he was no worse than a dozen guys I've seen on WCW Saturday Night. So he's a horrible jobber. The highlight of this match was Vince talking about this contest where Kamala, the Ugandan giant, might call you on the phone, and he might, Vince says, he might speak to you in Ugandanese.
Ugandanese. Can you
Apparently-
imagine what it'd be like for the Ugandan giant Kamala to call you speaking Ugandanese?
So Vince thinks not that a person from Uganda is called a Ugandan, but a person from Ugandan speaks Ugandanese.
Yes, Vinny.
Okay. Kamala won with the usual.
Can you
splash.
imagine you're facing $1.99 a minute, and you might get a call from Kamala?
To be fair, hindsight being 2020, wouldn't you rather have a call from Kamala than, say, Tatanka?
Well, I'd rather Kamala than Nails. But I got a lot of questions
Frankly,
I could ask
I don't-
Tatanka.
I don't know if there's anyone on this roster I actually want to call me. Flair. Flair and Macho. Maybe the ones.
Razor.
Excuse me, Warrior, after that promo.
Yeah, well,
That would be too
He's off the list.
No, that would be too
Survivor
uncomfortable.
Series.
That would be too creepy and weird.
we don't need him
Like, what do
talking
you
about
say?
bondage when he calls
What do you
Vinny.
say after he talks about bondage and food?
You're paying $1.99 a minute. So we'll go all out, Vinny.
Eat something, Warrior. Have a steak.
I just keep looking at Kamala and thinking, in like less than a year, he's going to be a good guy, and he's going to go bowling with Slick. And I couldn't just process that.
Well,
That'll be different.
it is weird. Was he a good bowler? Did he cover this?
He actually threw a strike, as I recall.
Excellent.
And Slick did the big,
He can roll a ball. I can't believe it. But he's Ugandan.
Ugandanese.
yes, thank you.
He's Ugandanese. No, that's a language.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Ah.
He's speaking Ugandanese.
See,
That's the official language, Vinny, of Uganda.
See, I'm learning today.
Yeah. What did you think he meant?
I think he didn't. Brian.
No, he thought in Uganda you speak Ugandanese. That's what he was saying.
I know that, Brian. But that's dumb.
Yes,
Because in Uganda,
he's
you
an
speak
idiot.
Ugandan, and you should know this because Kamala is the Ugandan giant. That's my point, Brian, is that Vince is dumb.
Yeah.
Isn't this fun, John? It's kind of like you're
for
watching a
50
tennis
reasons.
match.
Ugandanese.
He mad at me. The Undertaker literally stokes the coals, appropriately enough.
Dude, this guy's still working on this coffin.
It's a big coffin.
It's been 4 weeks he's been in this workshop.
Well, he's also on the road full time.
You saw some great work taking place in that workshop, says Gene.
Yes.
Why does he have something on fire?
Yeah, he hit his steak.
You know what I mean? He's got a wooden coffin he's building.
He was stoking the coals and hammering steel on an anvil. Larry Sweeney would be proud. Tatanka does the same promo at the rerun. Martel stole his eagle feathers, the greatest symbol of his Native American heritage. He promises, "You will no longer be fashionable with my eagle feathers." And the Beverleys and Money Inc. talk about each other. "We four men have always survived. We see you as losers. You look across the ring and see us as champions and winners. We have the most talent. We have the most wealth. And we'll do anything to win." And next week, they only plug one match. But oh, what a match. Virgil versus Bret Hart for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes.
You know, the Tom McGee match finally surfaced. I guess this can't be anything to, another feather in the cap for Bret of giving the impossible task?
Bret Hart versus Virgil for the WWF Championship.
Virgil could be the champion of the earth.
God, that's the only thing they promote because everything else is Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
We'll have a lot of news next week.
Well, that was Survivor Series. That was Superstars.
That was Superstars, everybody.
Guys, what do you think about doing a podcast here? You have a good time?
Yeah, it's fantastic. It wasn't as fantastic as the Warriors promo, but it was still fantastic.
RD is a veteran podcaster, longtime podcaster.
Absolutely. WrestleCrap Radio, 14 years.
14.
Excellent.
God
Yes.
damn, that's almost as long as we've been doing this.
It's probably where I got the ideas from you.
2005? Mm-hmm. Wow. What month?
I want to say it was September. It was right before my son
All right.
was
So
born.
we did barely beat you. Mm-hmm. Holy smokes. Well, plug it.
WrestleCrap.com. Please go there. That's where you'll find WrestleCrap Radio, and then also it's a site that we update constantly with the worst of wrestling.
Yes.
I may have to do an in-depth analysis of that Warrior promo.
I think you should.
Yeah.
You'll get traffic.
Yeah.
We'll plug it.
Absolutely.
Yes. And some great books as well.
Yeah. Death of WCW, WrestleCrap.
All-time
Book of-
classic, at Death of WCW. And the WrestleCrap Book of Lists. Are those all in print still? What can we still get on Amazon?
WrestleCrap Book of Lists, I know is still in print, and of course, Death of WCW, 10th anniversary.
There you go. Anything you'd like to plug before you head out tomorrow morning?
If you like Cub stuff, you can go to my Instagram, Mr. J Pink,
Mr. J Pink. Cubs stuff?
and Chicago Theater.
Man, you're not the Cubs fan, are you?
No.
Okay, just checking. I don't know who that guy is. He keeps his identity a secret, like a great lucha reporter. All right, we're out of here, everybody. Vinny and I are going to be back. What's today? Sunday? We're going to be back on Tuesday. Retro Raw Nitro 19 years ago this week. It's me and you.
All right.
Craig's off. So
He finally quit.
that's Tuesday.
I'm done watching Nitro.
Yep. And then I'll be back tomorrow with Observer Live, Observer Radio. Lots of great stuff. Check it out. That's it, everybody. We'll talk to you again after a while.
Adios.
Goodbye.